What will be the future of AI, and how will it affect our lives? The answer to this question is of interest to many in today's world. We all know how fast AI is developing, and what seemed impossible to us 10 years ago is now commonplace. And all this is thanks to AI. But what is the future of AI, and what will be our future in the world of artificial intelligence? Many experts in the field of artificial intelligence are now sounding the alarm about the pace and scope of recent advances in the field, warning that they are nothing short of a threat to humanity. Among them is award-winning computer scientist Geoffrey Hinton, known as the Godfather of AI, who resigned from Google last month to share his concerns about the unchecked development of new AI tools. In 2012, Geoffrey Hinton and his students developed a system that could analyze thousands of photos and train itself to recognize similar objects in real life, such as flowers, animals, or cars, with unprecedented accuracy. After this remarkable achievement, Hinton and his students continued their research, and the company where they worked on neural networks was acquired by Google. It was the developments of the British professor and his two students that accelerated the adoption of AI and led to ChatGPT, Google Bard, and other chatbots. In an interview with MIT Technology Review, he said, "I've suddenly changed my mind about whether they're going to get smarter than us. I think they're very close now, and they're going to be much smarter than us in the future. How are we going to survive that?" Hinton is not alone in his concerns. In February, Sam Altman, CEO of ChatGPT developer OpenAI, said the world may not be that far away from potentially scary AI tools, and that regulation will be crucial, but will take time to develop. Shortly after the Microsoft-backed startup released its latest AI model, called GPT-4, more than 1,000 researchers and experts signed a letter calling for a 6-month pause in AI development, saying it poses a serious risk to humanity. Our brains are able to solve equations, drive cars or planes, and watch Netflix shows because of their ability to organize and store information and find solutions to complex problems. The approximately 86 billion neurons in our brains, and more importantly, the 100 trillion connections these neurons make with each other, make this possible. As Geoffrey Hinton assures us, the technology behind ChatGPT has between 500 billion and 1 trillion connections. While that might seem to put it at a disadvantage compared to us, Hinton notes that GPT-4, the latest AI model from OpenAI, knows hundreds of times more than any human. But let's face it, that number is a massive understatement. Perhaps, he suggests, it has a much better learning algorithm than we do, making it more effective at solving cognitive problems. Researchers have long noted that artificial neural networks take much longer than humans to learn and apply new knowledge, because they require enormous amounts of energy and data to train. Geoffrey Hinton argues that this is no longer the case, noting that systems like GPT-4 can learn new things quickly if done correctly. This led him to suggest that AI systems may already have use beat. Not only can they learn faster, they can share copies of their knowledge with each other almost instantly. It's a completely different form of intelligence, said Geoffrey Hinton in the same MIT Technology Review interview. AI could be the main cause of misinformation. What will smarter than human AI systems do? One frightening possibility is that malicious actors, groups, or entire nations could simply use them to further their own agendas. Dozens of fake news sites in different languages have already proliferated across the web. Some of them publish hundreds of AI-generated articles a day, according to a new report from NewsGuard, a company that rates the credibility of websites and tracks misinformation online. Hinton is particularly concerned that AI tools could be trained to manipulate elections and even start wars. Will AI completely replace us? As OpenAI once stated, 80% of workers in the US could face a similar problem due to AI, and a Goldman Sachs report says the technology could jeopardize 300 million full-time jobs worldwide. According to Hinton, humanity's survival will be jeopardized if smart things are smarter than us. We may exist for a while longer to keep the power plants running, Hinton suggested, but after that, probably not anymore. These creatures, having read every novel there ever was and everything Machiavelli ever wrote, will learn from us how to manipulate people. Even if they can't pull the levers directly, they can certainly get us to do it. We don't know how to stop it. I wish I had a good and simple solution to offer, but I don't, Hinton added. I'm not sure such a solution exists. Still, governments are paying close attention to AI development. The White House has invited executives from Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI, the company that created ChatGPT, to meet with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris for a frank conversation about mitigating both the short and long-term risks associated with the technology. European lawmakers are also accelerating talks on new AI regulations, and the UK's competition regulator plans to examine the impact of AI on consumers, businesses, and the economy. as well as the need for new controls on technologies like ChatGPT. What's unclear is whether anyone will be able to stop powers like Russia or China from using AI technology to dominate their neighbors or their own citizens. Hinton suggests that a global treaty like the 1997 Chemical Weapons Convention might be a good first step toward establishing international rules against the military use of AI. Let's look at some of the ways governments are regulating AI today. In China, the Cyberspace Administration in April unveiled draft measures on the management of generative neural networks, requiring companies to submit analytical summaries on the safety of such technologies to the authorities before making the services available to the public. Beijing also intends to help its leading companies build AI models that can compete with ChatGPT, the Bureau of Economics and Information Technology said in February. Italy temporarily banned ChatGPT in March after the national privacy watchdog, Garante, raised concerns about possible violations. The local regulator then accused OpenAI of failing to verify the age of its users, as required by law. By the end of April, however, access to the popular ChatGPT was restored. In the European Union, the European Data Protection Board announced in April the creation of a working group on ChatGPT, which could lead to common requirements for the use of AI. European lawmakers are also discussing an AI law that would regulate companies that offer AI-based products or services. And these are just a few of the countries that are seriously concerned about the potential superiority and dominance of AI over humans. Time to summarize the results. In this issue, we talked mainly about ChatGPT, but it is a kind of collective image of all AI that exists today. At the moment, it is very difficult to say whether artificial intelligence will be a threat to us, or, on the contrary, our guide to the world of the beautiful future. Many scientists and analysts have a very positive attitude towards the development of AI, but without blind faith in a bright future. Despite their positive view, they take into account all the risks that such a new technology as artificial intelligence can bring to our world. As for myself, I would like to say that in our time, artificial intelligence is unlikely to bring any threats, because we will be able to control it for the time being. But here is what will happen to people who will live in 100 years, and what will happen to those who will live in 200 or 300 years. The human organism will not be able to evolve enough to withstand the artificial intelligence that will be developed to such an extent that the smartest people of the future will not be able to understand it. Meanwhile, we are in a time when the threat of artificial intelligence will definitely not arrive. But in the meantime, many tools help us on a daily basis, including on our favorite video hosting site, YouTube. ChatGPT is currently helping people deal with illnesses that doctors have not been able to detect. There are many psychological help bots. Many bloggers have all the advantages of neural networks have allowed them to spend less time on creating their content, which affects the frequency of new videos on various channels. Of course, this is all well and good, but at the same time, today's chatbots can write malicious code that is potentially a threat to thousands of people. To anything new should be treated with close attention, and for a better understanding of the world of neural networks, all the novelties and news, and was created our channel. Have a nice day, everyone.